Welcome to our Signal Media Executive Interview Series. I'm Kimberly Underwood, Director of Digital News Media at AFCEA International Signal Magazine. Welcome to our episode today, which is sponsored by Sealing Technologies, entitled Advancing Cyber Warfighter Efficiency Through Powerful Defensive Solutions. Today, I'm speaking with Andreas Giraldo, Director of Innovation, and Dave Shortt, Director of Growth, both from Sealing Technologies, which is a Parsons company. And I'm excited to hear about how SealingTech develops purpose-built products and defensive cyber solutions to empower warfighters, and the tailored solutions that you provide that offer modular flexibility. And for those that don't know, for all of their products, SealingTech has taken emerging technologies and integrated them with the latest high-level edge compute to enhance warfighter efficiency and cost savings. And Andreas and Dave, I'm looking forward to hearing about your new Aegis Edge microservers line and the new US-10 compact server. Can you talk about that? And how does SealingTech's new US-10 microserver help cyber operators in operational technology, OT, industrial control systems, ICS, and enterprise environments be more efficient in monitoring networks? Andreas?
We're all aware of the rise in cyber attacks to OT and critical infrastructure. So there's clearly a visibility gap there, and it's something that the United States government, DoD, and industry as a whole is tackling right now. So what we've done is we designed this new product line really meant to incorporate technology previously only seen in traditional rack mounted and design them for edge deployment throughout critical infrastructure and operational technology sites.
Can you talk about the cost savings? How does the US-10 provide savings in comparison to traditional rack-mounted servers?
So instead of placing these traditional rack-mounted servers throughout, so if you picture a power plant, right, or a water treatment facility, it's not cost efficient to put these rack mounted servers throughout the power plant at every single sensor, at every single like PLC or HMI or different controllers. So with the Aegis Edge, they're really low cost, low swap, really small devices that fit in the palm of your hand that you can then deploy and put multiple of them. So instead of, for the same cost as like one traditional rack mounted server, you can now put 20 Aegis Edge or 10 or 15, however it might be, and distribute it geographically throughout your critical infrastructure or OT environment. So you're increasing your network traffic visibility at the edge and also lowering your total cost of ownership and securing your network.
And over the last couple of years, there's been an explosion of generative AI, large language models. And can you talk about kind of when it comes to using AI in the field, how does your platform, Operator X, which is a Gen AI platform, how does it help cyber operators be more efficient during a mission?
So we've been supporting cyber protection teams really for the past 7 years or so. And we've taken a lot of lessons learned from those past 7 years. And as we've seen this explosion in generative AI, machine learning, and how it applies to cybersecurity, we asked ourselves, how do we provide that capability to cyber warfighters to address some of the challenges that they've encountered? So with Operator X, it's a large language learning model, similar to ones that I'm sure all of us here have used in the past, but it's really meant to provide cybersecurity knowledge expertise and then combine that with cybersecurity tools, allowing operators to interact with their information systems using natural language. So instead of doing complex queries and having to have all of this subject matter expertise, it allows junior team members to really quickly and efficiently triage network attacks or figure out if there is bad things on the network. Using natural language, they can interact with the information systems. They no longer have to be experts on all of these different tools. They can just talk to this platform using natural language, and it'll then go out and query and do the complex queries to all of the tools. So it's really helping them be more efficient. It's reducing the time that it takes them to find bad things on a network.
Right, sure. And are there other challenges that Operator X helps with? You mentioned triage and searches, and then I guess how does it apply to joint or allied or foreign partners?
Network sizes are continuing to increase, there's more and more devices added to networks everywhere. And as they continue to increase, the complexity of protecting those continues to increase, and attackers are just getting better at building these complex attack vectors. So it's really helping solve that challenge, or helping um, address and figure that out quicker.
So if I could add, as we engage with a lot of our U.S. partners and our foreign allies, we're starting to see that the challenges from our foreign partners is really around resource availability. So they spend a great deal of time investing in training their resources and training their operators, only to then, once they get them trained and certified, they leave and move into industry. This has created a big gap for our partners. And really, this is where we see Operator X being a substantial help for them, where they can train the operators to be analysts. And they don't need to train them to be, system administration or network analysts or network administration. So really see a real benefit for our foreign partners with Operator X.
You're getting known for your agility to solve these complex cyber kit challenges. Can you kind of delve into that and kind of an example where your team was able to rapidly design something and then deploy a solution quickly that directly addressed, a pressing requirement?
Absolutely. So most recently, we had a conversation with a customer. They were looking for a substantial amount of storage in a very, very small form factor capability, right? So they were looking for that flyaway kit capability with large amounts of storage, which was not commercially available at the time. So through our internal resources and our internal R&D teams, we've been able to produce a prototype exceeding their storage requirements and delivering that prototype to them within 60 days, right? We're through integration and through collaboration with the government and the customers, directly with the operators, we're able to fine tune that solution, which is the process we're currently in right now, to make sure that when it becomes a commercially available product, they're getting what they need and really helping them kind of advance through their mission.
You all do have a long history in cyber hunt kit deployment. Can you talk about that a bit and kind of what are some of the examples of past lessons learned that have directly shaped expertise or brought your expertise in to shape the design and functionality of your latest products?
So yeah, as I mentioned, right, we have 7 years of lessons learned delivering products to the Cyber Mission Force. And that's a continuous learning and improvement and iterative process the entire time. So it really pushes us in our development of our hardware, and not just our hardware. It really pushes us to innovate in software engineering and integration. It pushes us to innovate in training and operational support to cyber protection teams that are out in the field. Uh, when we started this process, the benchmark was, hey, your cyber kit must be able to ingest 10 gigs. And then a few years ago, it was your cyber kit must be able to ingest 40 gigs. And then recently, it's must be able to ingest 100 gigs and beyond 100 gigs per second. And throughout that process, we've been able to deliver functionality and meet those requirements really in an agile and very efficient form, where we're bringing prototypes to the field in months instead of years, and addressing those requirements from the customer. So really, that 7 years of lessons learned has proven valuable to the customer, to the warfighter, and to the success of our products.
And through those 7 years of lessons learned, we've really started to evolve past just a hardware platform, right? So we've started to look at how can we make the deployment methodologies, right? So these operators can go into the field and have a confidence that they're going to be able to deploy their capability and do their mission rapidly, right? We're looking at different ways to enhance training, right? Introducing gamification into the training environments. How can we make this more enjoyable, more interactive for the operators? And then as a whole, just from an operational support perspective, how are we leveraging not only the hardware, the tool integration, the training? How can we package this all together and provide efficiencies for the customer and really enhance that warfighter's capabilities?
Right. And can you kind of go into the role that feedback plays that you obtain from your end users and how you're applying that to the iterative development of your products?
End user feedback is everything. We say it all the time. Our products are purpose built for the Cyber Mission Force, And in order to be purpose built for the cyber mission force, that feedback is critical. So we encourage, we facilitate, we take that feedback seriously. Even the smallest feedback gets considered as a part of our engineering, our development, our product lifecycle, our roadmap. And where that really helps as well is we ask what's working, what's not working, right? We don't want to be including things just for the sake of including them. It's, is this being utilized on mission? Are these resources, hardware resources being utilized? If not, is there something else that could be replacing that to drive further mission efficiency or reduce overall costs? So feedback is critical to everything we do in our product development lifecycle. We've always stayed away from the mindset of it, if you continue delivering the same thing you've been delivering for the lifespan of a contract. So, when you're awarded a 3-year or 5-year contract, it's a continuous process of being able to look at every single point of user feedback. Like, how do we, is it the right resources? Is it the right hardware? Is it the right solution being delivered? Or are the efficiencies that can be engineered before the next delivery? And that might be 3 months later or 6 months later, but it's really a continuous process of getting user feedback, getting stakeholder feedback, and then how can you build an even more efficient solution for the next delivery, whether it's 6 months or a year later, instead of delivering the same thing for the lifespan of a contract.
Right, sure. And Dave, you all use an agile approach. Kind of how does that approach enable faster development and engineering and then fielding as the needs of DoD evolves?
Yep. Yeah, so we really lean heavily into our small business roots, right? And we've looked at how do we approach the product development, whether it be a hardware product or a software product, very similar to Operator X. Right? How do we do that as efficiently as possible and really drive the needs and the requirements and deliver capability that the customer is looking for, right? And we really, that really starts from the very beginning. Right when our growth team starts to engage with a customer, product is coming with us. Product development teams are coming with us. We're really engaging from the very beginning with our stakeholders and our key subject matter experts. And we look at that from how we're staffing the company, right? We have several subject matter experts with long history of actually being operators and performing these missions, and some of them are former customers, right? And this has allowed us to be a step ahead of this, right? As we look at products, as we look at commercially available products, where do we see a gap? And then leaning on the internal resources and our agile processes, we're able to quickly turn out capability like the Aegis Edge microservers, this storage product that I had mentioned earlier. We're able to quickly turn those products out and then be able to move them from prototype to commercially available within months as opposed to years.
And I have a sort of crystal ball question. Given your
Mhm.
history with deploying cyber hunt kits and with cyber operators and cyber protection teams, over the next 5 years, what do you see as the most significant technology trends that will impact these operators?
So I think I mentioned before, and I think we're all aware, networks continue to increase in size and complexity. You know, there's just more and more devices being added to networks like DoD network, government networks, enterprise networks, even ICS, industrial control system networks. So it's increasing in complexity. And then attackers just continue to increase the complexity of the attacks that they are creating and how they are integrating themselves and just attacking our networks. So I think with that increasing complexity, it's technologies like AI. How do we leverage AI, actionable AI, to defend against these threats? And then at the same time, we're doing research into how our adversaries using AI against us. So it's actionable AI to protect against AI almost. There's machine learning. And as these networks increase in size, it's the amount of resources necessary to protect these networks increases. So really, it's what's the right balance of the amount of resources, right? You don't want to send a truckload worth of resources on every single mission if it's not necessary. So I think one of the things really important in the next 5 years is innovating ways to monitor resource utilization while deployed on missions so that teams are receiving only the level of capability that they actually need for that mission. There's not a need to outfit every single unit with the heaviest, most complex kit when a leaner configuration, potentially leveraging AI, leveraging offloading of FPGAs, offloading technology, can support and defend their mission in a much leaner, smaller, compact kit instead of, again, delivering the heaviest, most complex kit just because network sizes are increasing. So I think it's this balancing act between networks are increasing, what resources can we leverage like AI, and then balancing that with the cost and cost efficiencies to what's the most ideal configuration of kits we can provide.
To add a little bit
Thanks.
to that, one of the areas that we're really focused on right now is how do we provide the capability in a cost-effective manner? I think as we look over the next 5 years, I don't see prices and I don't see costs going down. I see them going up. Right. So how do we continue to provide capability for the warfighter in a cost-effective manner, right? And we've really leaned in on a lot of our product development into modularity. We're looking at how do we build our products from the very beginning. The Aegis Edge is a great example of this, right? Can we build a foundational product that then we can evolve over the next 5 to 10 years and make minimal incremental changes while continuing to enhance the technical capability? Right. So creating some consistency and structure between products from generation to generation that allow that additional enhanced modularity that ultimately will result in cost savings.
And those were all my questions. Anything to add?
No, I just want to thank you for your time. This has been great. I appreciate the questions, and so thank you.
And thanks, Andreas, to you as well, and Dave for walking us through the importance of delivering more capabilities at a cost savings in an agile way and adding much value to the warfighter. For more information about Sealing Technologies, please visit their website at sealingtech.com/mission success. Thank you for listening to this executive video with Sealing Technologies, and have a good day.